So, back on the trail after a 0 in Big Bear. My resupply strategy needs a little bit of work. My pack is freaking heavy. It's a 100-mile stretch, but I think I'm just packing the wrong types of things. It's also pretty much at max capacity. Things are busting out the seams. But here we are. Have a good feast tonight. Let's get going. Being a bit of a rebel and breaking the law. So, just out of Big Bear, we came onto a stretch of the PCT that says closed to public, but was from a fire from a couple years ago, and I'm not seeing anything on GutHooks or Facebook or even the PCTA's website saying it's closed, so I'm just gonna go. Sunny spots are dangerous. You take your pack off, have some lunch, lean back for a second, and next thing you know, you've taken a nap for an hour or so. You've been warned. So our campsite right now kind of looks like a tent gear review video. Kind of amusing. We have all of this space and we're all just like set up next to each other. So we stopped just shy of the water cache last night. We're all antisocial. We didn't want to camp with a bunch of people. That's probably a good thing we did, because I was kind of looking at the maps when we were in our campground, and turns out there was a national forest or some forest campground just like less than a quarter of a mile away, and that meant pit toilets. Yay! Totally worth it though. So we made the trip in. We're filtering water right now, and then we're gonna head on out and try for like 16 today. In case you're confused where you are, here's a Google Earth picture of where you are. Okay, carry on. Looking for a place for second breakfast, and this is a pretty cool tree, so I think we'll eat here. So I guess that's Baden Powell out there. Still got a ways to go, but the next mountain's in sight. Did pretty good today. I managed a 17-mile day. I know it's not quite the fastest that people should be doing about this time, but considering we were doing like 12 or 13 days, this is actually an improvement. Just had dinner and getting ready to crawl in for the night. Still pretty cold out here. We're dropping in elevation, so it's staying warmer longer at least, but for now, you know, that's it. I'll see you tomorrow. Down here at the water source, having second breakfast and filtering some water. Also watching Hiker TV, because every once in a while a hiker will come down and they'll try and cross the creek. Not a bad way to spend the morning. Carrying extra water because we're gonna have to dry camp tonight. Guthook says that the next campsite is 17 miles and the previous campsite was 5 miles. So it was kind of a choice between like an 8-mile night and a 20-some mile night. So hopefully we'll be able to find something that's just kind of hidden. Usually we don't have any problem with that. It's not too bad, but carrying the extra water is kind of a pain in the butt. But that's just kind of the way it goes sometimes on the trail. So we managed to find a little secluded spot right off the trail. Managed 16-ish miles today, maybe a little more. It was probably a good thing because Guthook said the next campsite was 17 miles up the trail, and I definitely didn't have that in me. We're going to hit up Deep Creek Hot Springs tomorrow morning. Hopefully it won't be too busy and I'll be able to maybe even get a little bit of vlogging in there. But if not, I'm just going to go over there and soak for a bit and then head on up the trail again. So tonight it's time for dinner, and I will see you in the morning. Enjoying a nice soak in the hot spring. I found one that I can actually film because people are wearing clothing, so
That'd be us.
Nothing wrong with a little nudity, but it doesn't make for good YouTube. Well, it probably makes for great YouTube ratings, but not kind of the audience I'm going for. But it's pretty nice. There's a really warm one, a semi-warm one, a cool one, and then supposedly one where hot water and cold water mix in together. But I'm just going to sit here and soak for a bit and then head back up the trail. I don't know if you can see it on the camera, but we're in this huge area of exposed ridges. But out there in the corner, right at about our height level, is like this giant ocean of clouds. And it's like, I wonder if they're going to come our way. That'd be nice. It's pretty warm. Civilization's out there. It's actually a bit weird. You can see all the smog from LA area. The downside to titanium stakes: they become shepherd's hooks. Let's see if I can actually fix this. Well, don't do that. And that is the reason why I always carry a spare. So I totally forgot last night. When you camp down next to water, you get a lot of condensation on your tent. So I woke up this morning and everything was soaked. That's alright. It's going to be a sunny day today. I'll stop and lay everything out and dry it out in a little bit. Heading over to Silverwood Lake today. On our way to Cajon Pass, where I've discovered there is a Del Taco, which means that there's actually something I'm going to be able to eat because they carry the Beyond stuff. And I might even try a Del Taco challenge instead of a McDonald's challenge. So let's go. That's Baden Powell in the distance, where we're going. It's going to be still a little snowy, but from the Facebook posts and stuff, it looks like it's melting off quite a bit. So micro spikes by themselves should be enough to get us through. There are definite pros and cons to the way I've been doing my vlogging. So by waiting until May, this has given me almost a month of videos done. So when I hit the Sierras, when the internet's few and far between and I'm just tired and don't want to deal with them, I won't get like way behind. But the downside is I'm kind of doing these in a vacuum, so I'm not getting really any feedback whatsoever. And I'm watching Mary do her videos, and she's getting feedback and stuff, and she's getting comments and interacting, and I'm like, oh, I kind of want to do that, but at the same time, I want to stick to my plan. I have reached Silver Lake. Bit of a climb up, but looks like a proper lake. So I have to say, that was probably the fastest mile I've ever done. We were sitting at the other picnic area and had some service, and found out there was some trail magic down here, so we hauled butt. Looks like we found some trail magic. I'm at Fish Tank's Oasis in the Sand. Awesome trail magic on Silverwood Lake. We got a row of charging stations. Got all kinds of food and drinks. Awesome place to hang out. Check out his channel, Fish Tank on the PCT. He will be finishing his thru hike this year. Thanks for all the food. Very hard to tear ourselves away from the trail magic, but we got that coming in, so we better get moving. Morning. Totally forgot to do any recording after that trail magic yesterday. I was still flying high on all the sugar. On our way to Cajon Pass today. Be checking out the Del Taco because I hear they have the Beyond Meat there. And I haven't eaten there in years. And I'm mildly curious to try whether or not it's the same burger as the actual patties, or if it's the Beyond Meat ground stuff, which is actually fairly disgusting. But still, it's town food. And there's really not much I can eat at McDonald's, so that's where we're thinking about going. And boom, civilization. So after a mildly terrifying freeway walk, we are at the Del Taco. Well, got our food, got a ridiculously heavy pack from the amount of water I'm carrying, and let's get back on the trail. I had enough of the civilization stuff. I guess we are going to be going into the creepy murder tunnel. This should be interesting. Okay, so maybe not so much a creepy murder tunnel. The closer we got, the bigger it got. So that was a pretty short day. We only wound up going about 11 miles because the next campsite is probably another 10 miles up the trail. Del Taco was far better than it had any right to be, and we actually brought some with us so that we could have some for dinner tonight. So I'm carrying extra food now because I wound up not eating anything out of my food bag for today. We may be making a push up for Brightwood tomorrow, but probably not. It'll probably be a 2-day thing. We'll like hit it early in the morning the next day, and then we'll have a 0. So I guess I'll see you in the morning.